This video is going to be recorded all in one go, just kind of. Not really, but it's going to be a short video. There's not going to be much editing or graphics or anything in this video. It's just going to be me talking over some gameplay about my thoughts on the update. Um, I couldn't tell, disassembling disrespectful drones is going to be put on hold for a while. I mean, I would be working on it, but it's going to be a little delayed. The new update kind of changes too much for me to release it how it was, and I wasn't particularly happy about some of the stuff in it. Um, I just didn't enjoy some of the editing or some of the voice work even that I had in it. So I'm glad, honestly, to be able to redo it. I didn't really have a reason to, and now I do. But at the same time, you got to think I made a sneak peek of just an edit of it that I completely redid, by the way. I wasn't happy with the edit, but completely redid it. And that 5 days of work, 6 or 7, like basically a week of work, is kind of all being thrown in the trash. So unfortunate, but whatever. That's not what this video is about. I've already been a minute in. I'm ranting about not even what I'm supposed to be. We're talking about the changes in order as they were posted on the changelog for the new major update. So we'll be going over the new stuff, then the fixes, and then the balance changes. And, saving for the best for last. I love me some balance changes, and I'll go ahead and spoiler warning. I was not satisfied with it much, but let's start off with the new stuff. The map got overhauled. That's probably the biggest thing to happen, and it looks amazing. It truly does. It's so much bigger and better. I mean, there's no really other way to put it. It's so much better. I mean, truly, the amount of doors now, the amount of places there are to go and sit and hide, the amount of places there are to run around in. It is really amazing, and it all looks good too. I mean, I was really blown away by the upgrade in looks from the map we had to the map now. Truly blew my mind how much better it looked from this one update. So truly props to the people who worked on the map. You guys are amazing. It looks so much better. Um, Stuff like the lobby, um, the lobby's updated. It looks amazing now. I love the new school area, and yeah, those two are probably my favorite. I like the little cafeteria area. It's not that much to do there, but it does look really good. So props to people who worked on the map. Next up is the new animations. Yeah, the new animations look amazing. Shout out to what's the name? Me Idiot. I think that's his Discord name. I don't really know what to call him, but he's the guy who works on the animations, I'm pretty sure. He did a fantastic job. I love how many subtle things there are that are changed. Um, you know, if you look at the walking animations, how the fingers twiddle a little bit, I don't think that was there. The new eating animation looks amazing, especially from the third person. It looks so much better than it used to. Yeah, props to him. The animations look amazing. Keep it up. It looks a lot more updated. So yeah, props to the animations. And the last new thing added was the lobby area. It's pretty bare bones for now. Even I think there's a sign in there admitting that it's pretty bare bones, still work in progress. I like how it highlights community activity. Um, I definitely do enjoy they put the game night screenshots up there from Gardic Phone. I love those. They're really fun. You guys should stop by if you haven't been in any of the game nights. They're super fun. The community is a great group of people. Truly, come check it out. But that's all the new stuff. So next up is the fixes. So the first fix listed is fixed murderer bug when okay, they kind of butchered the wording, I think. Okay, so there's a murderer bug where you could get stuck by switching weapons while eating. I never encountered this. I didn't even know you could switch weapons while eating. I've always stood still, but great on that. And the second one was that they blocked the roof and legs of the landing pod outside because it was too unbalanced and juking. And same with the forklift. I never had this problem. I didn't even think they were that great. I thought they were a novelty at best. I actually considered them one of the worst spots that people went to. I never really understood why. I never had a problem dealing with it, but apparently some people did. Most people did for it to be changed. So cool, I guess. It only really matters how big the map is now, but awesome. And those are the fixes. So now we're left with the good stuff, the meaty stuff, the stuff that I live for, which is balance changes. So we start off with doors and gates. Their health was significantly nerfed, but the respawn time was doubled. Then gates are now 1 hit with any weapon, and doors are about 3 hits, 4 hits with the claws. So definitely a lot less health. But the respawn was doubled to compensate. I think this is a good change. I think doors and gates should respawn even faster though. Maybe triple, maybe 3.5 times respawn speed would have been even better. But definitely going in the right direction. Next up was weapon swing cooldown was buffed for all weapons, I presume. So there's a longer cooldown on it. I didn't even really notice this, if I'm being honest. Um, yeah, I did not notice this at all. I don't think it matters all that much. Either that or weapons just still weapons do too much damage for it to matter. So yeah, didn't really notice this. Definitely going in the right direction. I think they should have been nerfed. Maybe a bit more than they were. Because again, I just did not notice this change at all while playing. It must have been very minimal. Next up is the chainsaw nerfs. So there are a few. So it now does less damage as the first change, which is great. It still does a lot of damage, and I'll get onto that later about my thoughts on it. But it now also constantly consumes oil and applies heat, so it raises your core temperature, so you can't hold it out infinitely. Um, Again, I'll get to my thoughts on this later in the video, but I will just say that this was not enough. Next up is the murderer is now slower when walking. Again, this wasn't really noticeable for me, but I am glad that they made it a change. Okay, no, I won't say it wasn't noticeable, more it didn't really matter. Right? If you are just smart about it, you can always sprint. So, didn't really make that much of a difference. In the final change, or no, not the final change, the second to final change is the overheating now takes longer to overheat fully, and oil consumption rate was lowered due to new oil consumption sources, that being swapping weapons and the chainsaw. Oh man, do I have some thoughts on that one? The two last changes were the new callback ping system. So now um, if you click R on the keyboard or a button on mobile, you will get the exact locations of everyone on the map, and the penalty for that amazing ability is it consumes 5% oil and applies 20 heat. I just, oh my god, reading it out, it doesn't even sound that, it doesn't sound balanced. I mean, it's so hard to keep all these opinions for later because man, do I have so many. And the last change is switching weapons now consumes 5% oil. Great change. I love it. I think weapon switching speed should be reduced so that this is even bigger of a threat. But yeah. All right. Now, my thoughts on the update. I think it was overall really good, but I think there are some glaring issues that I have with it that should be addressed. And again, this is all opinion, so get ready for some scary things. But my first problem is disassembly drone is still too good. I mean, man, it feels like he got even better. I know he got worse, but it feels like he got better because The callback ping is too good. Oh, okay. Before I talk about that, let's talk about the weapon changes. So, as I said before, weapon swing cooldown got buffed. I didn't notice this. Could not tell. The chainsaw nerfs, I could tell. It just didn't matter. It wasn't enough. I couldn't tell enough to the point where chainsaw wasn't the best option in every scenario. You know, it's still the best no matter what, which is a problem because it's also the easiest weapon to use. Um, so they definitely need to nerf it more. Make its oil consumption rate even higher. Make it heat you up faster because heating you up, it doesn't do it fast enough to where it matters. Because remember, overheating puts you on a timer to die. It doesn't make you die. It's not like a health bar. It puts you on a timer to die. So the fact that you're overheating doesn't matter if you still get a kill with it, right? But yeah, nerf it more. Murder is slower when walking. I think this is great. I think it's great. I didn't really notice it all too much, or I noticed it, rather it didn't matter all that much to me. So yeah, just a heads up. This is gonna be me rambling. It will not be constructive criticism, this part of the video, so if you don't want to hear me just honestly just bitching about changes, then this is your cue to hop off. Thanks for watching, and if you want to hear me bitch about the changes, then keep playing. And overheating, this one, this one, it comes close to callback ping in terms of my my I don't even know what to say. It's like I really question how this became a change. And it's that overheating takes longer to overheat fully, so you die slower, and oil consumption rate was lowered because that's what we needed, right? They did this due to the new oil consumption sources, like swapping weapons, using the chainsaw. Thing is, those oil consumption, it's not enough. They don't consume enough oil to where this change was necessary, or it just wasn't. It wasn't necessary. It really was not necessary for this change. This should have never been changed. And the fact it did amazes me, because, again, yeah, this just should not have been changed at all. I mean, really, what were they thinking? Like, I love the dev team, but, oh, give me what you're smoking, because this is, this is up there. And the final thing, probably the thing I have the biggest opinion on, we'll say it like that, the biggest opinion, is the new callback ping. If you go ahead and click R on your keyboard, like I said before, you will see everyone on the map. You will see their name, you'll see their health, and you'll see their position from you. And not only is it just like you just get to see them for a second, you get to see them for several seconds. I'd say it's about 5 seconds. So you can't just use it and they run away. No, because you see them, you see where they're going. It makes being a disassembly drone too easy, man. It is too overpowered of a mechanic. It needs to be a lot different from how it is, and I'll give my opinions on how we should change it. So one, I think it should highlight the killer. I think the fact that you know that you're revealed, but you don't really know what to do about it. You can't, there's no counterplay to it. You don't know where the killer is. If you move from your position, you might be walking towards the killer for all you know. So yeah, definitely highlight the killer as well. And then my second change is a longer cooldown. The cooldown isn't nearly long enough. The fact I can get a kill, use it, and then by the time I get my next kill, I will have it off cooldown again, is insane. That should not be how it works. It should definitely be a thing that you need to use sparingly, especially if they want to keep it as overpowered as it is. Um, I would see them not buffing the cooldown if they make it less overpowered, but for how it is right now, it definitely needs to have a way longer cooldown. Third change is make the penalty actually do something. It consumes 5% oil. That is the same as switching weapons, and that is unnoticeable, if I'm being real. It is not at all a good change. Oh, and it also applies 20 heat. Thing is, if you are not currently overheating, or if you have, oil, you're not overheating, that goes away immediately. This penalty, it just doesn't do what it should at all. So I think it should consume 15% oil and it shouldn't apply any heat. I think if you're overheating and you use it to kind of try and get that last kill, great. Why not? I mean, you're gonna die, really. Um, and it's not like adding more heat makes you die faster if you're overheating already. So I don't really understand why it applies heat, but whatever. And the final nerf to it is how long it reveals people for and how specific it is. So what I mean by this is the UI currently is huge, and it's way too easy to tell exactly where someone is than it should, honestly. If I look at someone from across the map, I shouldn't be able to tell you exactly where they are. But as it stands currently, I could. I could tell you exactly where they are, or at least in what part of the map they're in. And then it also highlights them for like 5 seconds so you can tell where they're going. It is absurd. It really is. I think it should be a tiny little dot, and it should be for like a second or two. All right, but that was everything I wanted to say about it. Again, disassembling disrespectful drones will be out eventually, I guess, but for now, I'm just making this to kind of rant on the things I didn't particularly enjoy, especially in the balance change department. I think everything else was honestly amazing. Maybe a few map spots like the prom area aren't the best, but other than that, the update was amazing. I won't say that this update was bad because it was great. It's a huge overhaul to the game, and it is truly truly amazing. Props to everyone who worked on it, the devs, the map builders, the people working in the code. You guys are amazing. Good job on this, and that's all I have to say. Have a good night.